Sarah at Life West?
Yep. I replaced Georgia.
Yeah, I was at the Life West Coalition, but I forgot.
Yes.
How are you?
Thank you.
Okay, yes. Okay, if you turn your microphones on, they'll be working and Jay will be able to hear us well. We currently do not have officers, so we'll need somebody to start the meeting for us and do a call to order and start the beginning until we do election of officers. Is there any volunteers who's willing to start that?
All right, I'll call the meeting to order.
Thank you, Al.
Uh,
Do you have the agenda?
No, wait.
Oh. Amy has it.
Anybody need it?
Oh, so now you're saying I have to run this one?
Until we do election of officers.
Good. So now you want to do the roll call?
Correct.
All right.
So for roll call, what we'll do today is we'll go around and introduce ourselves. Does that work for you?
Sure.
Well, I'm Jan Quinzer. I'm just Jan Quinzer.
Go for it.
Cole Morgan.
Sarah Beckstrom.
Amy Hurt.
Jessica Pickett, and on the phone,
That's you, Jay.
Yep, I'm on the phone. I hear you, Dave.
thanks, Jay.
All right, so now the approval of the agenda. If everybody's even looked over the agenda.
I so move.
I second that.
All right, so that carries. We're good.
You have to vote.
Oh,
All approve.
does everybody approve? Yeah?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Again, Jay, are you a nay?
He was an aye.
Here's an aye.
Okay. I must have hiccuped during that. All right, so that has passed. Approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. We need a motion for that?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Go ahead, you want a second?
I'll second it.
I know you do.
Did you all hear that?
So we have approval of the minutes?
You got to vote.
Oh, all right.
That's all in favor.
All in favor of the minutes from the last meeting?
Aye.
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 Any nays? Anybody staying at home who doesn't? All right, that has passed. So now the election of the officers.
So the officers we need, or is a chairperson, a vice chairperson, and that's it. Just two people, chair and a vice chair. Anybody want to volunteer?
That would be a hell no.
I'll volunteer Jay.
Jay, are you interested in being a chair or vice chair?
It's a little tough from a long ways, but I've been wanting to be chairs of other things.
So yes, you're interested?
I will do it if you need someone to be a chair.
Perfect. So Jan's nominated you, Jay. We got a second?
I'll second that.
Then we need all in favor?
Aye.
Jay, you're our new chair.
I will abstain.
Now we need is a vice chair.
How about Sarah?
Second meeting in, sure.
Sure. It's really not hard.
I'll second that.
Okay. Then we'll do, Jay, do you want me to just lead the meeting since you're on the phone?
Yeah, he won't have his.
Yeah, that's all right.
Perfect. So for Jay, we have Sarah is nominated with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations, you two. Thank you.
Okay.
So next on the agenda is the Palace Transit Capital Improvement Plan. That is in your attachments. This is something that has been done for years and years and years, but was extremely easy to do and was just kind of a guess thing and wasn't being utilized the way it should have been utilized. So I was on a committee to set up this new capital improvement plan program spreadsheet that we needed to do. And now all transit agencies use this document as a working document as a 5-year plan for all of our capital improvement needs. In this plan, they have rolling stock, and that's on page 9 of 36, and I talked about the different rolling stock that we need. And on the computer right here is our spreadsheet that we also need to fill out with the descriptions, showing the dollar amounts, what were needed, which vehicles we plan on replacing, just so we have a plan, then it was not just like, oh, hey, suddenly we need this, or suddenly we need that. So we put together a plan for that. On page,
Was that the email from Monty, whatever his name is?
Monty Meyer,
Yes.
that was probably the,
I don't know why I got it. I did. Is
It
that
was just
something-
sent out today or yesterday. They
Yeah,
sent
yeah.
it to the board members of Palace Transit, of every agency's board.
okay.
Oh,
I know
that's
nothing
why
about
we
that.
all got it? Did all of you get it?
I got it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't look.
yeah, okay. All right. I had no idea what he was talking about.
I have no idea either. I didn't get the email.
Oh, I can forward it to you.
I think she sent a follow-up email saying it was a
She did.
mistake.
Yeah, I
she did.
said,
There was a
yeah,
follow-up.
I asked him, well, when is this meeting? And if it's virtually, how do we get there? Is it Zoom or what's the deal?
Yeah, it was
And then he said something about it'll be in the spring or in the summer.
Okay, maybe they're going to do a board training with you guys, talk about transit in general.
I hope they come here and we don't have to go to Pier.
No, it'll probably be virtual. They've been doing most of their meetings
Oh,
virtually.
okay.
And they did do a meeting with this, explaining, teaching people how to do this. The next portion in this capital improvement plan is the facility needs. So we went through and identified our different facility needs. The biggest one is the LED lights in the bus garage are not working. And I did, as we talked about that before, I submitted grant applications for that. And then looking out in the future, possibly we might need to replace our garage doors. And I got prices for those. Then the next page, page 13, talked about equipment. So I put in there different types of equipment, you know, the tires, because our vehicles obviously need tires every year. I put in shop tools. I contacted our street shop and I found out what kind of shop tools we needed in the future. A big one, Nate said at the street shop, is the new buses will require RY1234 refrigerant manifold gauges. I know nothing about that, but he says the new buses will require that. So we put that on there too. We also put in there different technology needs, our dispatch software, the radio needs. And the nice part about having this all up in front is when grants come along, it's in our capital improvement plan and we're ready for it. And different miscellaneous items, office furniture, first aid kits, and preventative maintenance, we all put in this plan with a total amount at the bottom. And then they did a finalized plan where they put everything together. They talk about the different facility projects, everything is in there, and then a final budget with everything. And I'm sorry, it's really hard to see on my computer. It's not showing very well. Okay, squeeze it down a little. It shows the dollar amounts that's needed for each of these projects. It totals it on the spreadsheet.
So that's on page 15?
Yeah, no, the numbers on here are not correct. These are just examples. The only information that's correct on here is in those boxes, the wordage, the description. And I did talk to the state about changing that too, because it is confusing with all these numbers that are in here. That is not our plan. Our plan is in those boxes for the descriptions and on this spreadsheet. And unfortunately, because it's on this spreadsheet, we were able to attach it to our agenda for the dollar amounts. So that's why I brought it up on these screens. See a little bit better. This has been submitted, approved, the state's happy with it. That's where we're at.
Are you happy with where we're at?
It's a hard process to do it first because it's new. But the first time you do it, of course, you got to put all this work into finding the quotes, figuring out what you need for the next 5 years. But in the long run, it's going to be super helpful because next year when I do this, I only have to add one more year. And then I can make the changes as needed as I foresee changes are needed. So in the long run, this is going to be super helpful. But the first year, it was difficult getting all that information. The state came and they audited us on this. And that's not it. They went over everything and they said, yep, everything you have in here is good. They were impressed that the numbers that I put in there, they go, where did you get this amount? Where did you get that amount? And I showed them my quotes that I got from different, like the garage doors. I went over to American Garage Door because they're right next door, and they gave me estimates because I don't know how much an overhead garage door costs. I don't know how much wash and bay equipment costs or this refrigerant thing. I went and got actual quotes, and they were happy that I had actual numbers and not just made up numbers because they have seen other transit agencies just make up numbers. And when they make up the numbers, then when they apply for the grants, everything's wrong and they're not planned and budgeted in advance correctly. So the state was very happy when they came and did their on-site inspection on it.
So did these places give you a percentage of what it might cost in the future?
We talked about that and they said this is the best we can know for now. Obviously, we won't know 5 years from now how much a garage door will cost, but at least the state's happier that it's closer than what it could be.
Right.
What about supply chain? Because that was a problem.
Yeah,
You know, you'd order things and it's
gone.
months.
Yeah. Yep,
Better?
we don't know
Supply chain.
because you don't know if it's,
You know,
Like
you
the
would order a
buses.
bus or something, it'd be years.
buses is a great
right.
example. And we talked about that during my meeting with the state and they said, it is what it is. I mean, we put that money in the budget and then it takes 3 years to get the buses and then the prices go up. We just do the best that we can with what the knowledge that we have for now.
Is that the current average, like 3 years?
It used to be one.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's not been good lately.
So this is probably what we've heard from Monty Meyer about this. I mean, they're keeping better track at the state level.
It might be, yeah. I don't know.
Who knows, huh?
You even have trouble with the meals, frozen meals.
The
stuff
frozen
like
meals,
that.
getting supplies, yeah.
Still the same?
Yep.
Excellent.
Amy's gotten really good at planning advance, though.
Right.
She's trying to predict the meals that's needed. Any questions on this part? There's nothing to approve. I just wanted to go over what we've been doing so you knew and the changes and
It just seems like with the 5 years, you know, and then you have those issues.
Yep.
It's kind of,
And that's why this is a working document, which is very nice. This is what we use for when we do have grants, things are shelf-ready. We can pull that information and then make a few adjustments, and it's ready. In the future, I look for applying for grant funding for these LED lights, or I look for applying for garage doors for grants. So that's all shelf-ready, and we know what we're doing.
LEDs you probably had to get.
Yeah, we have, but they died.
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, they did. Okay, well, next on that is the Palace Transit 5311 audit. There is an attachment in your packet showing that our audit was conducted for the month of October, finalized by the South Dakota DOT. There are no errors found in this reporting month, and they appreciate our efforts in compliance with the federal and state agencies. So I just wanted to share with you, we have never had an issue with the audit, but we passed another one. All's good. Any questions? All right. Next on the agenda is the new Palace Transit bus. So this is one, again, we ordered 3 years ago. We told you in previous meetings, the cost for this bus ended up going up because it was ordered 3 years ago. The good news is we're supposed to be getting it this month. Knocking on wood. There are several transit agencies that are really struggling around the state because they need vehicles too, but for some reason ours is coming in. It was supposed to be completed at the end of December. So we'll see if we get it this month, but hopefully we'll get it. We are not replacing any vehicles. We're adding this to our fleet because our spare ratio is 0 right now. We have 0 spares. Busy. Any questions on that? Okay. Next on the agenda is the RTAP conference. I attended the RTAP, was this Rural Transit Assistance Program. They provide training for different rural transit systems across the United States. They are federally funded. I attended a conference in South Carolina in December. I attended lots of different classes. It was super helpful. I'll go through the list of ones I attended. They had marketing and advocacy, telling the stories that sell transit, being intentional, inclusive, equitable initiatives for transportation. They had, I attended rural transit innovations, van pools, mass fare-free systems. The reason I went to that is because I wanted to learn about van pooling. And it's something that we are working on with the chamber right now and the state. The state is working on having maybe our first van pool situation in the state of South Dakota for those that need to go to work. And they really want to apply for this different grants, and they think this would be a good way to partner with us because we have so many different companies in Mitchell that have a third shift, and it's hard for people to get to and from work during that third shift. So what a van pool is, the van would be purchased with federal funds, might be a conversion van, a bigger vehicle, a transit van, and we would have one of their employees also be our employee, a part-time employee, would pick up people for that work. Say they're going to AKG. They're picking up people from their employment, they bring them to work, and they work also, and then they bring them back home during that time because our buses aren't operating at that time, or Toshiba, or Trail King, all these different places that have manufacturing third shifts. So that's something we're working on with the state to possibly get a federal grant for that and provide that service for our community. Another class that I went to is rounding up morale, microtransit in rural areas, what works and doesn't work. I kind of laughed at that because it's basically what we're doing now. Bridging transit, the digital divide. We talked about the different technology and the needs in technology. It was kind of refreshing to hear that everybody has struggles with their software, no matter who their software company is. So that was refreshing. It's not just us. Learning about improved transportation and healthcare, simple and complex coordination strategies, and meeting with the Transportation Safety Institute. So those are some of the classes I attend, got some great information, and I'm been applying some of the things that I learned, with what we're doing. Any questions? Okay. Transit Coordination Plan. I'm just going to give you an update on this. Our Transit Coordination Plan, we've talked about this at other meetings, will be due for a complete refresh this year. That many transit agencies across the area hire out a company to do a transit coordination plan for them. I do it for us. People's Transit's going to do it the same. They're going to do their own, but there'll be different meetings and open public forums, sessions for people to come and give their input. So I can put all this information together. We'll do surveys and that kind of stuff to put together our coordination plan. But I wanted to give you a heads up that this will be coming out and will be due this year, and we'll have to approve that by the board as well. Any questions on that? All right. Title IIIB grant funding. This is a change that is going to be happening for nutrition. Department of Human Services announced the application period for open grants administered through funding received from the Administration of Community Living and Department of Health and Human Services. The following programs are accepting applications. So we received Title III funding for our C1 and C2 adult nutrition meals, so our adult nutrition meal program. Previously, we've just given them our cost report, and they would fund us. Well, now they're doing it as a competitive grant, and that is due at the end of this month. I have it on our next city council agenda to apply for this grant funding, so you'll see that coming up on our next council agenda. And after they give approval, it's just to apply for this funding. There are several different attachments they need within this. They need a letter of intent, current insurance certifications, budget justifications, our SAMS.gov confirmation, our W-9, conflict of interest policy, accounting policy, travel policy, procurement policy, identification of governing board structure, abuse, neglect, and exploitation policy, and grievance policy. So these are all the things that we will have to attach and send on with our grant application. I guess I need approval from you guys before it goes to city council to apply for our nutrition funding.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Do you need a motion?
Sarah made a motion and Cole seconded it. So you get to do the fun part. You get to say,
I didn't get it all.
oh, Sarah made a motion and Cole seconded that motion. So you get to ask for all in favor.
Motion has been made and seconded.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, he said.
Say that again, please.
Do you need a roll call? Yep, we can do a roll call. Yep.
Al,
Aye.
Jan,
Approve.
Cole,
Aye.
Sarah,
Aye.
Jay.
Aye.
Thank you. Now, to go along with this grant funding, the one thing that we did not have, we know we have it somewhere, but we just can't find the policy, which is okay because it needed to be updated anyway, is an abuse, neglect, and exploitation policy. In the packet, you'll see the attachment for an updated abuse, neglect, and exploitation policy that we put together that will go with this grant application. So we need approval for this policy.
Is the policy going to have to be approved by the state, or do they have a sample?
I put it together because it has to follow the South Dakota Codified Law, Section 224611. So I put it together according to that codified law. So all it needs to be done is, needs to be approved by our advisory board.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Do you have that ready, or is that a future thing to be completed?
It is completed and in the packet.
And I made a motion to approve it. This is Jan.
I'll second that.
And we're ready for a roll call.
Al,
Aye.
Jan,
Aye.
Cole, Sarah,
Aye.
Jay.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is office staff changes. We have made some changes. Due to our increased ridership, we needed more people to help dispatch for transit, more than just one dispatcher. So we were able to utilize our grant funding, and our current office staff, Corey Goldhammer, was our office assistant at front, and we moved her to an part-time activity coordinator and part-time transit coordinator. So she is dispatching and helping with the JVCC items. So she'll be doing more of the at-desk items, and Kim will be doing more of the activities and being out with the membership. So that's the changes we made there. And then we also hired a new office aide for our front desk. Her name is Pam Van Overshield, and she started at the beginning of the year. So that's our office staff changes.
Sounds like it worked out well, huh?
It did. I think they're both doing great jobs. Okay, next on the agenda is citizens input. There's nobody here, Jay. Do you want me to keep going?
I don't see anybody coming up to the podium.
All right, department reports and updates. Palace Transit, you'll see in the packet, you have October and November rides in here. Rides, again, like I said, we're very busy. It's amazing how much our ridership has increased. We're not sure how or why, but it's a great thing to see. And October, just so you know, October is the beginning of our new fiscal year for transit. Any questions? Okay. Next is the nutrition report.
In the report, you have the November and December nutrition, adult nutrition for all our sites. We always have to give our projections. So for the year, for the projections, we are up for the year. So we're doing good with nutrition. We're actually up compared to last year too, overall with all the sites. So definitely seen an increase. Our second meals, our frozen ones, have really increased lately. So it's just a matter of getting our trucks in as soon as possible. And I was also going to touch on nutrition. Over the holidays, we did our snowflakes, where you could do a donation for the seniors and pick a snowflake. And as of right now, we have collected $8,872 for that. So.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. The volunteer program.
In your packet, you also just have just a kind of an overall kind of where the volunteers have been in the last couple months. And we get different requests all the time, but kind of shows you with the nonprofits in the community what they've been helping out with.
And then for JVCC, Kim put together a report for that, talking about the different things that she's been doing with them. They had a bus trip, they had a pool tournament. We just recently had our after the holidays party and the quilt raffle. The Shine just got done with their open enrollment with Medicaid, Medicare, and we're starting our new membership for 2024. Any questions? All right, well, that's all we have. The next meeting, it will be in March 14th, Pi Day 3.14.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, all we have left is,
Let's hope we can get a quorum again.
yes. All right, that's all we have, Jay. All that's left is for you to adjourn.
come before this body at this time, we are adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay.
Yep. Thanks, guys. If there's anything that I need to sign or whatever,